Hey guys, Mason here with just a quick split run guide for Onyxia for Shadow Priest. First things first, Onyxia goes as phase 2 at 65% and phase 3 at 40%. The ads, don't bother touching them. The whelps aren't worth our mana basically. Let someone AoE them or single target them who's not an important member basically. Shadow Priests are tank killers basically due to our 15% that we need to stack up with the shadow weaving. So phase 1, just the typical keep your chill, don't rip aggro because next you can't be taunted. But we do want to use Major Mana Potion and Dark Rune ASAP, and we want to use these as many times as we can throughout the encounter. So that being said though, phase 1 we want to use it, and then we want to sit at above 90-95%. The closer to full mana you can, the better, because phase 1 is super easy. There's nothing to worry about there. It's not a race, and Onyxia ramps up through the phases. So you're more likely to die in phase 2 than phase 1, and phase 3 than phase 2. Now phase 2, the melee can't hit Onyxia, which puts all the importance on the casters to deal damage. So you want to pump out your damage on Onyxia during phase 2. I like to stop at around 41-42%. I say 41, but realistically, it's hard to gauge. But for the last couple percents, I don't like to risk taking aggro, so I like to just ease off, leave it to the hunters who can feign death. Maybe you've got a mage with Winter's Chill who's got Ice Block or something, or just PvP spec maybe. But leave it to them. That way we're safe, we're not going to take aggro when she lands, and this gives us a bit of time to regen our mana. Ideally we can keep shadow weaving up, but if we can't, it's not the worst thing in the world. But it's definitely a good thing. Try to keep it up. An issue I find is with the distance Onyxia gets away. So what you can do though is just a rank 1 Shadow Word Pain that does no damage basically. You're not going to rip threat from that. But if the tick starts getting a bit low, just put a rank 1 Pain on her. Ideally, flay, but if you can't, just rank 1 Pain. When she's close to phase 3. And when phase 3 starts, hopefully we've got a bit more mana than what we ended with. You want to be using those dark runes and mana potions just on cooldown whenever you can. And don't overcap on mana. But yeah, our job here really is to get Onyxia to phase 3, because the melee can't hit her in phase 2 obviously. And so once 3 comes down, it's more or less just another tank and spank. Threat is very finicky on phase 3. It's I don't know about you guys, but my threat meters get broken on phase 3 because of all the resets in phase 2. However, because we don't have much mana, we can keep it cool basically. We can't rip threat just from a lack of mana, ideally. And tanks get better as the game progresses, and so this is only going to get easier. But our natural lack of mana here is going to save us from having to worry about threat, which means we can play the rest of the fight out like just a normal raid encounter, where we just Shadow Word Pain, Mind Blast, Mind Flay, get low on mana, just go to the rank 1s, do some wands, all that jazz. Obviously there's other food, the Night Fin Soup, Gratify Protection Potions that can all help, but the important thing is having Dark Runes and Major Manas, and using them on cooldown whenever you can during the encounter. I think that's all. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoy, and I hope this helps you maximize your DPS on Onyxia. Cheers.